Some like rain and some don't, but in either case, rain is something we all experience from time to time. From cooling down the temperature to forcing you to cancel your social plans, rain definitely changes things up from the mundane. But we all have a particular image of those rogue drops of water. They all look the same and are transparent, and most importantly, it's water. But there have been times in the past when the status quo has been rocked and pretty strange things have rained down on people. Here are 16 strange rains that happened once on Earth, and they'll surprise you. Number 16. Milky rain. From red to milky white, rain seems to come in different colours. The locals in Oregon, Washington were quite surprised when milky white rain showered over their roofs one fine day. People didn't experience anything like this before. The scientific community was also stumped by this bizarre rainfall and came up with a few theories. One suggesting ash from a volcanic eruption in Japan being the culprit, while another blamed the wildfires raging around the country. A third theory suggested that the Nevada dust storm was the cause behind the white rain. All three theories were proven false when a Washington State University hydrochemist teamed up with meteorologists and geologists to analyze the chemical composition of this mystery rain. The conclusion of the test confirmed that the dust from the dry bed of a shallow lake some 480 miles from where the rain fell was behind the mystery. The dust mixed with the rain caused the rainfall to turn milky white. How bizarre. Number 15. Worms. Meteorologists and biologists have been left baffled by earthworms raining from the sky over southern Norway. According to Norwegian news service The Local, the most recent phenomenon was discovered by biology teacher Karsten Erstad while he was skiing in the mountains. Following Mr. Erstad's discovery, there have been similar reports in southern Norway and sightings of worm rainfall in Lindås and Suldal near Bergen, and also hundreds of miles away in Femundum. According to Erstad, it's not a new phenomenon. In 2007 in Louisiana, thousands of worms began falling from the sky. Scientists gathered it may have been from a local bayou waterspout that then dropped the creepy crawlers on the nearby town. A similar event happened in 2011 in Scotland when the storm of earthworms plummeted on a school soccer field. The Scotland instance was not explained as easily since it was a cloud-free day and the nearest water was over 40 miles away. Number 14. Black rain. Probably the least attractive rain so far, black rain is also a possible type of rainfall. Imagine you walk out of your home dressed for a party and you get caught in a charcoal black rain. There's no way that's coming off easy. If you're quick enough, you can hurry back home, put your clothes in a wash and pray it doesn't stain. Black rain certainly sounds inconvenient more than scary. There's not much sinister about it, as it's mostly a result of volcanic or cosmic dust mixing with the water. So you might very well be coated with the dust from a distant galaxy, which is probably way older than our own Milky Way. Kinda profound if you really think about it. Number 13. Raining fish. There are flying fish and then there are falling fish. The sight of fish falling from the skies, though, certainly is bizarre. Imagine how surprised you'd be if you go outside to do shopping down the street, holding an umbrella over your head, and see small fish lying around everywhere. We believe that's quite weird, but the local stray cats think this is the best rain ever in their lives. You're probably wondering how it's possible for fish to fall from the sky. It's actually quite simple and easy to explain. This rare weather phenomenon happens when somewhere in the ocean a waterspout occurs. Low atmospheric pressure and enormously strong winds lift fish from the surface of the water to the sky. After a while, the wind brings a whirlwind of fish to the land and causes this unusual rain. Though this natural phenomenon is considered rare, it happens almost every year. Number 12. Brown rain. Brown rain sounds pretty gross, doesn't it? Apparently a case of brown rain was reported in southern Russia. Seeing this, many locals assumed that the factories around the region were to blame for this strange rain colour by polluting the air with chemicals. But their worries were put to ease when a research concluded it was just dust. Apparently the dust had travelled all the way from Africa and mixed with the rain and caused the brown rain. Number 11. Raining money. Many people have a dream of making a ton of money to a point where they can make it rain. Maybe this dream became a reality when in 1940 the Russian city of Gorky was showered with more than 1,000 silver coins falling from the sky. These 16th century coins were buried and got picked up by a strong tornado and then scattered all the riches over Gorky. Imagine being in that city on that day and having these treasures just literally raining down from above. Would you have stashed it or given it back to the authorities? Number 10. Raining diamonds. Finding diamonds on our planet is quite rare, which is what makes them so valuable and expensive. But this is a whole different story when you visit other planets in our solar system like Jupiter and Saturn. These gas giants are so massive that their gravity, pressure and heat is so strong they can squeeze carbon in mid-air and convert them into diamonds. So it literally rains diamonds on these planets. If only we have a way of harvesting them, but I guess that's a distant goal. Number 9. Leaf rain. Something very unusual happened in the city of Utrecht, France in 1869. The residents of this city woke up to a clear and sunny day, but with one big difference. It was raining leaves. Oak leaves, to be exact. The leaves appeared high up in the sky and then fell all around the city for a while. This strange phenomenon was later clarified as a strong tornado which happened 6 days prior that ripped out thousands of these oak leaves. The wind carried these leaves further up into the atmosphere and they stayed there for close to a week before showering over Utrecht. It must have been a beautiful sight though, almost cinematic if you ask me. Number 8. Spider rain. Okay, this has to be the creepiest of all the rains on this list. So far we've covered different colour spectrums of rain and even certain objects being rained down, but not even in your wildest nightmares will you come across such a rain. Well okay, maybe your wildest nightmares might actually have them. Spider rain, yes, you heard that right, is a real phenomenon. Certain spiders like to scale on top of tall trees and other high structures. Once on top, they weave webs and wait for the wind to pick them up and fly off into distant places. Basically, these spiders hitch a ride in the breeze using their parachute-like webs, and they finally descend wherever the wind takes them. Sounds like a great way to get around, but probably not a great thing to see for the unsuspecting people who are around these descending spiders. Number 7. Corn rain. Evans, Colorado had a pretty strange few years between 1982 to 1986 when several homes in the region were covered with corn. It wasn't some crazy prank, but these corn kernels fell from the sky. What added to the mystery was that there were no cornfields anywhere near Evans. Another corn-related rain happened in Kansas in 2001 where several inches of corn husks poured over Wichita. Well, if you want the freshest produce of corn, then this is probably the quickest way to have it delivered straight to you, I guess. Number 6. Fruit rain. Having a bunch of apples rain down on you sounds crazy, but by now it doesn't sound impossible anymore after all the other crazy types of rains we've covered here. In the small town of Cundon in Coventry, England, residents witnessed apples raining down. Except for a few dented cars, no one was hurt. Meteorologists determined that a mini tornado could have sucked up these apples from a neighbouring orchard into the atmosphere. The powerful vacuum of a tornado is capable of carrying these fruits for many miles before dropping them off over Coventry. Some believe these apples came loose from the hold of a passing plane. Number 5. Golf ball rain. The Florida coast experienced a very unusual rainfall on September 1st of 1969. The city of Punta Gorda was caught in a bizarre hail of real golf balls. Having golf balls shower down from thousands of feet sounds extremely dangerous, but luckily no one was hurt in this bizarre incident except for some damage to properties. The phenomenon, however, could be explained by the presence of many golf courses in the area, and also Punta Gorda being a hotbed for severe weather conditions. A passing storm must have sipped up these golf balls in its path and then later dropped them back in the city. Number 4. Meteor shower. Here's a rainfall in the cosmic scale. Probably the most beautiful thing you can witness from the roof of your own home, meteor showers are the rainfalls that don't quite fall all the way down, and thank goodness for that. You can enjoy about 112 meteor showers each year. The heaviest meteor showers can be seen during the Orionids meteor shower, which usually happens between October or early November. You can see about 50 to 70 meteors per hour during this season. This is a shower you wouldn't want to skip. Number 3. Watermelon snow. Did you know that even snow can look different too? The watermelon snow is usually found in cold mountainous and coastal polar areas of the planet. It's caused by a species of cold weather green algae which has a red pigment which gives the snow its red colour, kind of like the inside of a watermelon. Probably best you don't try and eat it though. Number 2. Green rain. Rainfall in green colour isn't going to reassure anyone of its harmlessness if it were to fall over unsuspecting citizens. Green water is often associated with dangerous chemicals or nuclear waste. So when green rain fell over the Indian city of Kolkata in summer of 2002, its residents ran in fear. But after studies were conducted, people sighed a breath of relief. Turns out the rain contained flowers and mango pollen. Another surprising ingredient found in the rain were bee droppings, since there was a large presence of them in the area. The wind probably sucked up these things into the atmosphere and later rained it down. A mixture of these different ingredients gave it a green tinge. A similar case was noted in Moscow, Russia, but instead of mango pollens, it was pollen from birches. Crazy to imagine such a rainfall in real life, but it's a real phenomenon. Number 1. Red rain. What does the phrase "it's raining blood" summon up in your mind? A murderer on a killing spree? Maybe a catastrophic war with many casualties? Maybe an old samurai movie with tons of enemies sliced down by a sword? These are all scenarios which we usually gravitate towards thanks to movies and pop culture. But what if I told you there is a kind of rain which is red in colour and very much real? This is the story of a small town in the state of Kerala, India, who witnessed red rain on July 1957. Not surprisingly, the residents of this sleepy town weren't ready for something like this. People panicked and ran away indoors and sought shelter. Luckily, the red rain wasn't anything sinister and no one was hurt in the episode. After the incident, a study was conducted to solve the mystery of this blood rain. Initially, it was thought that the red rain was brought on by a meteor burst. A later study commissioned by the government of India concluded that the strange rain was the result of a locally found algae spore being mixed with the rain to create this unusual colour. Thankfully, the people here can rest easy now, and this type of rain is quite common in this region. And that's all of them. 16 strange rains that happened once on Earth. Have you ever experienced any of them before? Let us know your story in the comments. Before you leave, be sure to hit the like button, share and subscribe for more. Later.